In 1942, the German leadership learned two crucial lessons. First, the Soviets heavily outproduced them regarding tanks, and B, the weapons that a common soldier was issued in order to fight these tanks, weapons like anti-tank rifles and Sturm pistols, were ridiculously ineffective. Therefore, the order was given to develop a weapon that was A, usable not only by veteran soldiers, which were becoming more and more rare, but also fresh recruits and less experienced soldiers. B, a weapon that was quite easy and cheap to produce in large numbers. And C, a weapon that could penetrate the current strong armament of Soviet tanks, but also keep up with the expected growth and production of even thicker and stronger armor in the coming years. The result was the Panzerfaust, the world-famous weapon that was so far ahead of its time that its basic structure is still being used around the world. You can get yourself the Panzerfausts by going to the logistics menu and going to heavy weapons delivery, where you can find all the anti-tank weapons. Now, currently there's Panzerfaust 60 and Panzerfaust 100 available. The difference between these two is only two things. First of all, Panzerfaust 60 has a penetration of 18 centimeters and a speed of 45 meters per second. Panzerfaust 100 is 50% faster by flying 62 meters per second and penetrates 4 centimeters deeper by penetrating 22 centimeters. Now, these differences are really significant because A, flying faster means you don't have to shoot upwards if you want to hit targets far away. And it also means you can actually hit moving tanks much easier. Now, in real life, both Panzerfaust variants 60 and 100 had a penetration of exactly 20 centimeters, but depending on the production quality, you could come up with a specific exemplar that penetrated less. So, in that case, the specific soldier was very unlucky. In the game, though, due to balancing reasons, we have the reduction to 180 for the Panzerfaust 60 and the increase to 220 millimeters for the Panzerfaust 100, which makes perfect sense because the Soviet tanks in the game also have better armor stats than they had in real life, so this balances out overall. Now let's take a look how this weapon plays out in the games. The easiest way to blow up a tank of a Panzerfaust is to attack from the side. Two reasons for that. One, the sides are usually much weaker armored than the other parts of the tank, and B, as you can see on the top right area of the screen, you get a mini-map for the tank inside area, and there you can see where the tank holds its ammunition, which is usually placed on a couple of spots in the tank, also where the tank drivers are sitting. Now, even if you don't blow up the tank with one shot, after the first shot you will get this very precious information, and then you can start aiming accordingly and make sure you either blow up specific tank drivers or blow up the whole tank by shooting at the tank shells hidden inside. Now, obviously, enemy tanks don't like to present yourself from their weakest side, so usually you are forced to shoot them from the front. Now, if you do this, the following situation comes up usually and very often. You try to shoot a tank and you penetrate it a bit, you kill one or two tank members, but you don't quite kill it. Also, you saw the first shot from the side didn't do anything. But the tank started burning, and now it explodes. The reason for that is the following. We dealt enough damage to ignite the inner, either the fuel tank or the engine or whatever. And this created a fire within the tank, and then you just wait a couple of seconds and the tank eventually is going to blow up. Also important, give your anti-tank gunners who wield the Panzerfaust very good weapons, because oftentimes tanks will be escorted by infantry. And yeah, obviously if you don't have a good weapon on your Panzerfaust soldier, he's gonna die, get killed by the infantry. So yeah, your Panzerfaust soldiers absolutely need to be able to fight for themselves and to get rid of large groups of enemies. Now, what can we do when we are confronted with a tank as indestructible as the Jumbo? Tanks like the American Jumbo or the Soviet IS group or the German Tiger and Panther have very good frontal armor. Now, what they all have in common is either one weakness or a couple of weak spots throughout the tank area. Now, the Jumbo has Well, first of all, this is a normal average American tank. You can just shoot at the thickest spot it has in the front, even the one that's sloped, and I still killed it with one shot. So this is no problem. Weak tanks are no problem. But the Jumbo, look exactly. The Jumbo, we have to shoot at the, look at the top right screen area. Against Jumbos, you absolutely have to shoot on the machine gun port that you can see on the lower left. The Tiger also has a machine gun port on the lower left, and many other tanks have also machine gun ports that make them very, very vulnerable. So with these tanks, you absolutely want to hit this one spot. Once you get used to shooting at this area, you will be able to even just snipe tanks like that, tanks like the Jumbo from far away. Here, for example, I can't really see much. I can't even see any details, but I have the icon. Someone was kind enough and strategically smart enough to mark the tank. And what I do is I just aim at the lower left side of the tank, as usual, where I expect the weak spot of the Jumbo, and it works. Yeah, it works. Not every shot will perfectly hit like that, but you can see, as long as you hit the weak spot, no matter from how far away you shoot, and this is even the Panzerfaust 60, not the Panzerfaust 100, you will be able to kill even the mightiest tanks that the enemies are gonna bring against you. Another nice advantage of knowing the weak spots of your enemy tanks inside out is you can just quickly emerge from somewhere, hide behind an obstacle and just shoot at the enemy, and instantly after you shoot, just go away. For example, here I'm seeing that someone is shooting at me, the tank might shoot at me. What I do is I just quickly look for even less than 1 second. I look at the tank with the Panzerfaust, instantly shoot, and then instantly go away. You don't have to wait and keep looking at your projectile flying towards the tank. Just instantly hide. The projectile will still hit the tank, and everything's gonna be alright. This is the optimal way and the strongest way to use the Panzerfaust, because this ensures you actually survive and are able to kill multiple tanks, or that you are able to just keep on fighting. Now the Panzerfaust gives you the option to shoot it in an arc. This is extremely useful, as we're gonna find out now. Here I spotted a tank in the far away. I always recommend marking it, so you don't lose it. And now I know I can't shoot it straight, and yeah, even aiming a bit higher didn't work. But aiming even more higher works. Well, yeah. So this is how you do it. You could theoretically use the original markers on the Panzerfaust, but the problem is the game doesn't depict distances in a realistic way. So what you have to do is the following. Just do this a couple dozen times to get a feeling for distance, and then do the following. When you shoot at a tank far away, aim at something and use a marker to remember how high you aim. For example, here, my first shot, I'm aiming. Yes, you see there's a white building on the right and a red building on the left, and where the lines connected, that was my marker. Look exactly here. This is where they connect before the White House goes sideways. This was my marker. So if my projectile doesn't fly fast enough, I know I have to aim higher. So here my first shot and didn't hit. Now I'm gonna aim higher. Let's see, once again, same, and I aimed higher and it perfectly hit. So this is the trick. You just use something in the background, something on the battlefield that helps you orientate, and then you can aim with very, very good precision and blow up those gray zone tanks. The Panzerfaust, especially Panzerfaust 100, is one of the few weapons that can kill gray zone tanks, even if they are 150 meters behind the objective. The best thing, after using the Panzerfaust very often, you will have a really good feeling to hit those long-range shots at the first time. Now you will be able to do the following. You will be able to start hitting tanks who are literally behind cover. Now, since the Panzerfaust can fly in an arc, if you want to target something far enough away, you can use this to your advantage. Here, there's a wall between the tank and me, but the wall literally doesn't help him, since I still see him. I can still shoot over the wall and hit him behind it, but he can't shoot me because he can only shoot in a straight line. So this is extremely, extremely helpful, especially on urban warfare maps, but even on maps in an open field where you have a tree or where you have a bunch of bushes or a little wall, it helps a lot. And you will also survive because he can't shoot you back. As with all anti-tank weapons in the game, you can use them to blow up enemy guns too, meaning enemy anti-air guns, enemy anti-tank guns, and so on. Here we found an anti-tank gun, we instantly blew it up for some juicy 45 experience. Then we see another tank too in the gray zone, so let's get him too. Tank is gone, even more experience, and this anti-air gun too, because why not? You see, Panzerfaust with their fast reload, with their strong penetration, with their good damage, make you basically a one-man army. As long as you have enough targets and make sure you survive, you can destroy everything. Alright, now you know everything there is to know about how to use a Panzerfaust, be it from a beginner standpoint or absolute high-level standpoint. The only thing left to find out is the actual tank weak spots. You can either learn it by experience, by asking other players, which is what I did, or you can also Google it, because there's lots of information about weak spots for every single tank in the game, which helps a lot, because this is gonna very easily avoid you situations like this where I have to shoot a tank 5 times to blow it up, even though it could have been only one shot. Okay, until next time, goodbye.